All right, this is going to be a quick one. I didn't announce that we were doing a live. Quite honestly, I don't do a lot of lives. Most of my stuff is testing, recording, and then publishing. We don't do a lot of post-production because we like to do a lot of quick and easy just to get the information out there. But I tend to babble when I do lives. And anyhow, that's not terribly productive to anybody. But the reason why I'm doing this is I just got off of a live stream from Jason Hoffman. If you don't know Jason Hoffman, Google Jason Hoffman. He's a pastor in Texas. He's a live streamer. He has a lot of knowledge. He's on all of the forums. If you do a lot of scoring forums and such, he's on all those. He's on the Mevo forum. Just a great guy, shares a lot of really good information. So he announced today, or talked about the new firmware update for the Mevo Core and their capability to now offer live stream. Sorry, I forgot to turn the heater off. It's one of the things that happens when you do a live. So you'll hear that in the background. Being able to use the single cam app, the Mevo single cam app, and live streaming in 4K with the Mevo Core, which is great. And one of the things that we were kind of going back and forth on that was, does that give you then the ability to crop in and then get a better image because you're streaming in 5K, or excuse me, 4K. But one of the things that he mentioned was that the reason why the single cam app can do 4K streaming with the Mevo Core and the multi-cam app cannot is because in the single cam app, the camera is the encoder, whereas in the multi-cam app, the tablet, the streaming device is the encoder, and it's just too much for it to work with. It's probably a limit that they won't overcome. But that got me thinking, if that's the case, and we're streaming in 1080p right now to YouTube, I've got the full frame. I'm using a Lumix 1442 lens, zoom to about, in the high end, we're gonna say in the 40 end. But what that got me thinking was, and the only way I can test this to know for sure is to do this in a live, is to see if I punch in, do I lose quality? The idea, the theory behind this is that the camera is the encoder. The camera has a 4K sensor. It's sending a 1080p signal right now because that's what I've requested. But if I punch in and don't go beyond the fourth of the size, theoretically it should still send me a clean 1080p signal. So we're going to try that. I'm going to click on my face here. And we're going to punch in. And that's about a quarter of the shot. It's the standard punch from Mevo. So again, I can't tell because obviously I'm looking at the monitor and I can't see what it's doing. Let me move up a little bit because gotta get the hat. So what are your thoughts? Well, I guess we'll find out afterwards, but I'd be curious to know if it's the full quality 1080p. So I've got, the other thing I've got on my desk right now is our GH7, our Panasonic GH7. This is what I've been playing with today. Panasonic came out with a firmware update. It's the second or third firmware update that they've come out with. Most of them have been just bug fixes. This one was really good. The thing that this allows is to be able to connect to a wireless access point, stream to an RTMP server directly from the camera without the phone. It takes a little bit to get that set up, but once you have your URL and your key set up, works pretty good. And I did a little test with YouTube today, and obviously the quality is what you would come to expect with a Micro Four Thirds camera. So again, just a little experiment punching in to see if we lose the quality. I don't know. Is that still 1080p? Of course, when you're watching this on YouTube, you'll have to set your quality to 1080p in case it's maybe set to automatic. I don't know. We're going to play with it a little bit more.